everybody. This is That Saxy Nerd, and today's episode is going to be a little rushed because I wanted to write out a whole script and everything for this, but I procrastinated, and the new season of American Gods starts right around the corner, and I don't have time to do all the stuff I wanted to, so I'm just want to do this kind of quick take and this quick little theory, well, not really theory, just more thoughts of where they might go this season concerning the character Bilquis. Now, Bilquis, also known as the Queen of Sheba, is very interesting in the show, not so much in the book. And as someone who has read the book, let me say, I like what the show does. It gives characters who are kind of just throwaway characters in the book, they give them life, characterization, and give them, more meaning in the story. Now, if you haven't read the book, Bilquis is basically just kind of a world builder character. Neil Gaiman uses her to show how these gods are still living in our world today. And so, of course, we get the scene that we got in episode 1, which we all know the scene, and don't watch it with your parents, but so that's in the book. But anything else with her really isn't, except for one other scene. And I will say right now, to people who have not read the book and who care a lot about little minor spoilers, you might want to skip this next part, but it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, she is not a big deal. They show her once in the book, and then later we see her again in that whole scene with Tech Boy. And in the show, he gives her the app, but when the book was written, that wasn't a thing. And so what he does is kill her. And the reason the show does this, the reason the book does this is to basically show how the new gods are retaliating against the old gods in this war. But the show goes a completely opposite direction. Instead of killing her, they give her a chance to redeem herself. Well, I don't know about redeem herself. I don't know if that's the right word. Resurrect herself? No. Make herself, meaningful? There we go. We'll go with that. They give her the means to make herself meaningful again in our current world and to get worshippers, well, in a way. Why do I like this difference? Well, I like this difference because the book, like I mentioned, you focused on world building, whereas the show does that and characterization at the same time. And the reason they can do both is they're drawing seasons, multiple seasons out of one book. So they can go deeper into the lore. They can bring these characters out, where there's tons of characters that I felt were dead ends in American Gods, which was fine, except I wanted to see more of them. Examples include Salim and the Jinn. Of course, you have Laura Moon is important in the book, but she's way more important in the show. Same with Mad Sweetie. And the whole Mad Sweetie Laura Moon relationship is non-existent in the book, and that's one of my favorite things about the show. So this is how the show differentiates itself. It goes deeper into the character, gives them more of a spotlight in the story. So we have Bilquis, and what I wanted to talk about is what we think might happen to her, or what her plan is, or what I should say the new gods' plan for her is in the second season. Because in the book, she's gone. She's not a thing. She's not at House on the Rock. So what is she going to do in the show? That's a complete mystery. I have a few theories. So first off, we get the notion that she can kill a god. I mean, we know that you can kill a god. Odin did it. Mr. Wednesday killed Vulcan. And in the book, we know that a god can die. And a god can die physically and not die spiritually. That's a whole thing in the book that they talk about. So a god can physically die and still exist. It's once they are forgotten, do they cease to exist altogether. But we know that Bilquis's power can kill a god. At least that's the implication when she tries to seduce Tech Boy, and he's having none of it because he knows what will happen to him. And so that kind of gives away that her thing can still, the thing that she does can still be done to a god to kill them. So one of my theories was that she was going to try to do this to Mr. Wednesday, but I don't think he would fall for it. I think he would see straight through that plan because he knows who she is. So that's definitely out. Another thing I thought is that she might just be just a normal spy, just to see what's going on in the House of the Rock. Maybe she will in some way help escalate the conflict between the two sides if she's the one reporting back. Maybe she's the mold that tells the new gods about the meetings of the old gods and stuff, because there's a whole that thing going on. This show has really changed some stuff, like Mr. Wood and all that it's going to be interesting to see how they change it around. So maybe she'll be like a mole. But then there was a scene in the trailer that caught my eye, and that's she's guiding Shadow Moon. And that makes me think that her plan is to not kill Mr. Wednesday, rather try to kill Shadow through her seduction. Now, this will be an interesting angle. This goes back to, why is Shadow so damn important? Like Mad Sweetie says, he's not. He's just the guy. I'm not going to say any spoilers. Go read the book if you want to know right away why he's important, but there is a reason. Of course, I don't think for a second, if Bilquis is going to try to seduce him, I don't think for a second that she'll succeed. But I have another theory, is that she will turn on the new god. Her alliance with them seems very rocky. Like, I'm sure she's appreciative for what they gave her, but I think she feels the same way that Easter feels, that she's doing better now, but she's not what she used to be. And we see that multiple times in the first season, that she kind of reminisces on what she was. And even though now she's doing better than when she was on the streets. And the tension between her and Tech Boy kind of showed that it's a hostile alliance. So I do kind of want to see what plays out with that maybe Shadow will convince her, or Mr. Wednesday will convince her to turn back and join the old gods. I'm leaning more towards Shadow getting through to her, because just based on that scene that we saw of her guiding him, that we know they're going to get some sort of interaction, and he seems more diplomatic. I mean, Mr. Wednesday is an absolute genius at manipulation and conning people and stuff, but when it comes to like just honest interaction, Shadow's the way to go, and I feel he might be able to get through to her where Mr. Wednesday might not. And then this begs to, how big is her character going to be? Is she going to end up just getting thrown away? And I would be disappointed if that happens. I mean, she already has much more screen time than she should according to the book. So throwing her away, like just having them kill her or something like that. But if you've read the books, now I won't say any major spoilers here, but there's a part where the gods, Chernobog and Anansi, are going to be much more prevalent with Shadow and working with him. And I wonder if she turns, if she'll get added in any way. Because out of the new god side, she's not a new god, but she's one of the most interesting and most that we get characterization on that side of the war. Besides, I mean, I felt like Vulcan. It's like we get more characterization for all the old gods on the new god side than the new gods themselves, outside of maybe Tech Boy. Because I feel, I mean, Mr. World we get two scenes with. Media we get a few scenes with. But Tech Boy, yeah, we only get a few scenes with, but we get to see his like frustration with things, and even in the book, he questions the new god's motives of things and questions the whole war altogether, and maybe not questions it altogether, but questions how they are moving, how Mr. World is moving through this war, like he does in the show. So I don't know. I'm just going to be interested to see what happens with her. I hope they just don't kill her off. I hope her end isn't to try to seduce Shadow. He doesn't go for it and they end up killing her in some conflict, or she's exposed as a mole and they kill her. It would be a little bit better, but I still hope they don't do this, that she turns on the new gods and then they just unceremoniously kill her. I can see that happening, but I would like more with her. We don't need to see how she gets her worshippers anymore. We don't need to see that anymore. We've seen enough of that. But maybe just having her being one of the more important in the core old god group. That would be interesting, I think. Especially, like, how are you going to get more seasons out of the show? I think I know where they're going to end this show. Like for this season, I think I know which point in the book. And we kind of see it. We see it in the trailer, I think. And honestly, I think maybe they can get another season out of it. But the way they went with the first season, they could maybe get 2 more seasons out of it. And apparently Neil Gaiman's like writing the sequel. So if that comes out, maybe the show has some longevity, which I definitely would hope, because I like shows like this. Anyway, those are just like, I just wanted to get that out because I've been wondering, like, what the hell is she going to do? And I want to hear your guys' opinion. This video may just be like seen by 20 people, but then again, one of my videos like this got picked up by the algorithm, and I got thousands to see it. So if that happens, please tell me what you think she's going to be doing and what you think happens to her. I really hope she doesn't get killed in the first episode, and this video has, like, you know, a lifespan of like 3 days or something. Anyways, if you like this discussion, this kind of like thought into what's going to happen, hit a like. Please comment. Please comment with what you think is going to happen, because I would love to hear that. Subscribe. Go listen to my music. Check out other theories coming soon. I should have American Gods and Game of Thrones videos coming if I don't keep procrastinating on the editing. I suck at video editing. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, stay saxy, everyone.